any new sanctions on China will only exacerbate the current global supply chain crisis, compounded by the situation in Ukraine. Major ports from Odessa to Mariupol are either closed, damaged, or under attack. Parts of the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov are too dangerous for vessels to pass through, including freight ships. Take a look right now at marinetraffic.com. This tracks cargo ships across the globe. Well, the Ukrainian coast is nearly completely devoid of any freight traffic this afternoon. Now, this leaves shippers desperate to get crucial cargo, including grain, hunting for help. They're turning to shipping software platform Flexport. CEO Ryan Petersen is joining us now live in a Fox Business exclusive. Ryan, we know airspace in much of the region is either shut down or too dangerous to navigate, and much of the Black Sea is impassable. Where do you guys come in?
Yeah, well, Flexport's not shipping in and out of Ukraine right now. Those trade lanes are pretty much closed to the world. But one thing that we do is help to monitor disruptions and see how things are unfolding worldwide. I mean, these things cascade through the system. So containers that were meant to come out of Ukraine or out of another region won't be positioned where they're supposed to be for future demand, and getting importers and exporters visibility on exactly where the blockages are, what trade lanes are closed. You know, the latest one right now is that Shenzhen, major Chinese city, has gone into COVID lockdown. And so we'll be monitoring that and helping importers and exporters understand what does this mean for their business. How do they manage these disruptions and give them real-time visibility? Where is their stuff? That sort of question that every supply chain professional wants to know. And then when is it going to arrive? Giving people better visibility than they've ever had before on these types of things. Right.
And you point out, and very rightly so, that it is not just Odessa, which is a huge port, or Mariupol. And we're talking about the Black Sea, the Sea of Azov, the Kerch Strait. And that, of course, is a very important choke point for a lot of trade in grain, but also, as you say, China. And the breaking news very much is that Shenzhen's port is shut down. They're, I guess, instituting all kinds of quotas. The Chinese have this outbreak of COVID. But how do you do what you do? Because, you know, we're all very familiar with less than truckload opportunities where a truck is maybe a third filled, and then they'll call somebody and say, hey, you got anything that could fit the rest of this truck? And that way, it's a positive for everybody. What about less than cargo ship load? How do you handle that?
Yeah, well, there's two things. We do both air and ocean freight. And so being able to, and the way that our system works is that companies come on board and place orders to their factories and their suppliers through our platform. And then we're able to track those orders all the way back to wherever they're supposed to go around the world. So we both place the order to the factory, to the supplier, and then manage the entire logistics chain. That means both customs, export, and import. Put it on a ship, track it door to door. In some cases, consolidate with other customers, so that's called less than container load. But really, it's about visibility. So we do that using tracking from satellites, mobile apps from the drivers. Fundamentally, it's a data problem. It's how do you get data from all the different legs of a shipment? You know, 10 companies might be involved in a single shipment, so you've got to get them an interface, whether that's a mobile app, a web application where they can upload documents or data, or in many cases, it's software talking to software through our APIs. That is the future of shipping, is software talking to software, but it takes time to get there. So a lot of what we do is build interfaces for humans to be able to exchange data on our platform.
Yeah, software as quite a service in what you're offering. Can you give us an example? And I'm thinking about grain, because there is so much grain that Ukraine in the past has exported, but they can't simply get it out. Do you foresee food shortages? We've been hearing about possible bread shortages as far as Egypt. I mean, because, you know, Ukraine ships quite a bit of grain to the Middle East. What kind of cracks are you seeing in the foundation here?
Yeah, I mean, most grain is shipped on bulk cargo. Flexport is a containerized cargo company primarily. That said, I can speak to it. I think that it's horrifying to think about the implications. Ukraine is the #5 exporter of grain in the world. Russia's #1. And almost all that grain comes out of the Black Sea. And because there have been some attacks on civilian shipping, on merchant shipping, then all the insurance policies are void now. So ships won't go up there. Even if they're not sanctioned, they won't go because they don't have insurance and it's too dangerous to sail into a war zone. So if that grain doesn't reach market, you're going to see a lot of food importing nations really struggle. And then add to that, Belarus is the largest exporter of fertilizer, or one of them in the world. And so places like Central Africa that have dramatically improved food yields over the last 30, 40 years, to do that on the basis of imported fertilizer from places like Belarus. So if they lose access to fertilizer you're going to have food insecurity. Food insecurity often leads to violence and revolution. So we're hoping for the best. Hopefully U.S. exports can step up. Other major grain exporters around the world need to fill that void. But it's very dangerous to think about, very scary to think about food prices going through the roof.
Yeah, they kind of already are. Ryan, thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.